Hey guys, it's Clapping Penguin here, with something of a random video actually. Although a lot of you haven't actually asked, I figured I'd share the idea behind my current profile picture, as some of you may have noticed. Well, the idea itself was either going to be an idea for a book or at the very least a stop motion that I was thinking of doing. Wasn't really going to have any dialogue if it wasn't animation, but basically the idea behind it is there's a barrier between two worlds. The world on one side would have been animated in sepia, but it would have been bright, warm, welcoming, or at least gave that appearance. On the other side, which would have been shot in monochrome or black and white, it's it's darker, it's colder, and it's a bit more dangerous. Anyhow, the way the story goes is the barrier between these two worlds is opened, essentially allowing people from each world to traverse to the other and back again. The way the story would go is at least one individual from each world would meet, grow quite close to each other, and along the way learn that they were each other's double from the other world. And yet, despite being each other's double, they each lived totally different lives. And yet, they created a bond between each other. A very, very, very strong bond. And so, over the course of time, their bond grows. But in the same amount of time, things start to go wrong. And it's then decided that the barrier will be closed up again, permanently, if push comes to shove. Anyway, the two friends, they've grown so used to each other that they struggle to let go. On their last day, as it were, they embrace, terrified of letting go of each other, promising that they'll keep coming to see each other, even after the barrier's closed. Then, as they part, the barrier's sealed. And yet, they keep their promise. Each day, they get up, do what they usually do, and they go to the barrier. Place their hands up against it. And they talk. They just talk to each other. Okay, they can't quite hear what the other is saying, but they have a rough guess at what the other would be saying at that moment. And again, they do that day after day after day after day. I didn't think much beyond that. But Anyhow, that's pretty much the idea behind it, as it were. The fact of there being a barrier there between these two worlds, two very different worlds, and yet both containing people that can find something in common. Anyway, that's the idea behind it. Anyway, but hope you understood that, and hope you enjoyed the little story that came with it. Anyway, I've been Clement Penguin, and thank you for listening. Bye.